My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. This is the only channel dedicated to UFC fight picks and DraftKings lineups run by MMA insiders and professional fighters. Every week, I join Dan Kramer and Nick Newell, two longtime professional fighters that have fought at the highest levels on the planet, as well as Jacob Lyons, a skinny kid from Indiana. So join us every single week for our full fight card breakdowns, our individual fight card breakdowns, our betting guide, and our DraftKings lineups. Next up at UFC 265, we have Melissa Gatto versus Victoria Leonardo. Victoria Leonardo, 8-3 overall, and there's a spelling error on the screen, and Jacob's loving it because I have to do all the graphics now. Victoria Leonardo, 8-3 overall, only 2-3 in her last five. Melissa Gatto, 6-0-2, two draws when you've only had 6 wins is kind of crazy. 2 draws out of 8 professional fights is actually quite a bit. She's obviously 3-0 in her last 5, or actually 3-2 in her last 5. She is coming off of a very long layoff. She was supposed to make her UFC debut a while ago, but she's had a bunch of injuries. COVID didn't help. Legit 3-year layoff. Melissa Gatto is very interesting. Leonardo has basically had her entire career during the span that Gatto was not fighting during her layoff. She has very good jiu-jitsu, especially off of her back, but that actually could be a problem in this matchup. Victoria Leonardo is Jacob's first ever lock of the week, and that went really poorly for him. So her last outing, she got hammered. She got smoked. She got beat up pretty badly. She's definitely the veteran here. She likes to come forward. She is a pressure fighter. If she can dictate the pace and if she can come forward and she can implement her will, she does pretty well. She wants to get it to the ground, and she'll do that with body locks, trips. She also has pretty good jiu-jitsu, but she makes up for any gaps in jiu-jitsu and striking with her pressure. She does have very, very good pressure. She does move forward. She does try to dictate the pace. Melissa Gatto, I mentioned, has that good jiu-jitsu. The problem with her jiu-jitsu is a lot of it is off of her back, and she will hang out on her back looking for something, accepting guard, accepting that position, throwing her legs up, trying to make something happen. If this goes to the ground, Gatto could win by submission, or Gatto could spend the whole time on her back doing nothing while Leonardo has good pressure and stays active. So Victoria Leonardo is my pick here. The underdog is my pick, literally, because styles make fights, and that jiu-jitsu off your back style. And you know, I think she's like a purple belt, maybe a brown. So it's not like she's Damian Maia. So styles make fights. Guard jiu-jitsu off your back is not meant for MMA, especially at her level. Victoria Leonardo is my pick. Jacob, are you going to double her up as your lock of the week twice?
Victoria. What a disappointment you have been in my life. And really, and I've said it before, it was only because she only lost that fight because she lost her hair tie. She had her hair just like that in the photo, no braids or anything. Hair came out. She couldn't see. She couldn't get the takedowns. That's the only reason the lock of the week lost. But with that being said, if I'm looking at this fight, and we're going to be honest with ourselves, Victoria Leonardo is a horrible striker. She's a grappler that's got no takedowns. She can't get takedowns.
Yep, body locks.
She can't get takedowns. I think this is I would stay away from this fight completely because Gatto is also someone that is just like you mentioned, the layoff, and you watch film on her, and she is good on the ground, but she's not great at getting it to the ground. I think what it comes down to this fight is simply who wins the scrambles. Who is going to win the scrambles? Because they're both going to want to go to the ground. There's going to be a scrambles. Victoria is probably the stronger one, but she gets a little sloppy when she gets on top sometimes. So there's going to be scrambles. Whoever wins the scrambles is going to win the fight. I have no idea who it's going to be. It probably should be Gatto, but I wouldn't be surprised if Leonardo won as well. So if you like Leonardo, she honestly could have decent value for $7,400 because I think there is a lot of advances, a lot of scrambles. There's going to be some sloppy takedowns, and she's probably the stronger fighter of the two. So I'm going to go with Gatto, but no thanks on this fight.
Yeah, I agree. There's no bet here. And, I'm a conservative bettor in general, but I do try to bet on or try to find an opportunity on most fights. There's no opportunity here. There's too many unknowns, but I do think the line is wrong. I think you have to go with Leonardo. She's the veteran in this situation, even though she only has 11 fights. They're both grapplers. Leonardo's been busy. Leonardo likes to fight on top. Gatto will fight on her back and hasn't fought in 3 years. Like, there's just too much going against her. And she may come out and look like an absolute bulldozer because that layoff might have been good for her. But it was injury plagued. There were issues with COVID and stuff. My pick is Leonardo. I'm not touching it in DraftKings. I'm not touching it with bets. I do think the Monkey Knife Fight line is actually pretty decent. I'm not going to go less. I'll go less on Gatto, more on Leonardo, because I think Leonardo will be on top. And I think she'll just be peppering away doing stuff. She does have solid pressure. So I like less more on that line. If you do want to play for crazy reason, we want picks.com/bets.